It was my second visit to this historic place located in the Malabar Hill locality of South Mumbai. And this time it was with a friend, Dr. Swarup Dhume, whom I had met on one of my travels. And she also happened to live right in the locality from where we could get a bird's eye view of this historic place that I wanted to visit. And what was that? It was the Banganga tank and the area around and what is called as Valkeshwar. So before I continue, if you're visiting this channel for the first time, I'm Sangeeta Venkatesh and a very warm namaste. Do explore the channel and you'll find that it's all about travel, culture, temples, history and much more. And if these topics interest you, do subscribe, give me a like, share it with friends and family so that the channel can grow organically as I put in a lot of research and hard work in getting this content to you. So let's continue. According to legend, Lord Rama, the seventh avatar of Lord Vishnu, and actually I am recording this on Ram Navami of 2024. Well, so Lord Rama stopped here en route while going to Lanka, when he was on his way to save Sita from the clutches of Ravana. So he was thirsty, but he did not find any drinking water in sight. So what did he do? Rama shot an arrow into the ground, and what happened next was a miracle, as out gushed the water of the underground Ganga or Patal Ganga. It was a miracle, since the river Ganga is thousands of miles away. Hence, the pond came to be known as Banganga, which literally means Ganga created by by sending an arrow or a barn. So today, it is a pond that is surrounded by nearly 18 temples or more maybe, and mutts, samadhis and also a cremation ground. Banganga tank is fed by a natural spring located at the northeast corner of the tank, and it is believed that that is the point where Lord Rama shot the arrow or the barn into the ground to release the water. So all this and more, comprise the Valkeshwar Temple complex, and Swaroop and I walked around the complex together, and thanks to her, I got a lot of insights. The pond is about 115 meters and long and 40 meters wide, with steps leading down to the water level. It is spring-fed and has several underground outlets leading out to the nearby sea. The talab or the pond or the tank, the mutts and the main Valkeshwar temple, which I will speak about later, belong to the Gaud Saraswat Temple Trust, which once owned most of the complex. And so it is also the oldest continuously inhabited place in Mumbai. The tank was built in around 1127 AD by Lakshman Prabhu, a minister in the court of the Silhara dynasty kings of Thane. Since the tank is spring-fed, its water remains sweet, despite being located only a few hundred meters away from the sea. So if this is not a miracle, what is? So the tank was rebuilt in 1715 AD out of a donation for the Valkeshwar temple by Rama Kamath, and the main temple has been reconstructed since then. So I was waiting for Swaroop to come. I had, landed up a little early at the Sri Venkatesh Balaji temple, and that is where I will start the journey, and I will take you around in the chronological order of our visit. So the Sri Venkatesh Balaji temple, dedicated to Lord Vishnu, is a beautiful temple with white walls and trimmed with red, around it. It's mixed with that. And there is a tall Deepastham in front that is flanked by the shrines of Garuda, the vehicle of Lord Vishnu, and another shrine for Lord Ganesha with his consorts Riddhi and Siddhi. Now, the wood-pillared stone-domed temple is in the Maratha architectural style, and this was built in 1789 and has beautiful engraved marble floor. The entrance is marked by a Nagarkhana and a flank in that style, and are flanked on either side by Dwarapalakas or doorkeepers. Lord Balaji here is unique and stands with his eyes open. He has goddess Amba Mata on his side, and the sanctum or the Garbhagriha is flanked by Hanuman and Ganesha. Then we step outside and then enter the Sri Mahalakshmi temple that is run by the Shrimali Brahmin Trust, who are originally from Rajasthan, and perhaps this is the newest temple in the precinct. Just outside are benches that have been given by the RPG Foundation and for people to sit and generally, have a conversation and to relax. Swaroop and I then go to the Sri Gaudapada Acharya Sansthan office and temple that is located a few steps away. Sri Gaudapada Acharya, who lived around the 8th century CE, was a very early guru in the tradition of Advaita Vedanta school of Hindu philosophy. He is traditionally said to have been the grand guru of the great teacher Adi Shankara and was the founder of the Sri Gaudapada Acharya Matha, also known as the Kavale Matha, which is located in Kavale, which is near Ponda in Goa, and is the oldest matha for the Smartha Saraswat Brahmins. Now, the community has had a checkered history because of the Portuguese who destroyed many Hindu temples and mathas, and so the community had to migrate to other parts of India to safeguard its traditions. So much of the grounds belongs to the Gaud Saraswat Brahmin families who have been living on the banks of Banganga since its formal inception. So next we went, just next to the Balaji temple, tucked nearby, we explored a small side lane and we see an arched minuscule shrine of the Siddheshwar temple, which was constructed sometime around 1830. And this temple exists around other domestic activities such as people are washing clothes, hanging laundry. There is a house right next to it, so you see lentils being soaked and dried, and the vessels are being washed and dried. So in all that, this old temple also coexists. So Swaroop and I then walked through the lanes to reach the Ram temple that was originally founded by an ascetic, Ramdas Baba. Later in 1918, a merchant by the name of Khatri Bhavani Mohanji added a tall spire to the temple. And this temple houses marble images of Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. And there is a small Hanuman shrine right opposite the main shrine. So the next stop was the Parashurama temple, the 6th avatar of Lord Vishnu. The idol in this temple is made up of Panchadhatu and it rests on a marble lotus. So this temple gives you a vantage view of the Banganga pond. The site of the Parashurama temple was once a garden owned by a lady, Hari Ganga Ranchordas Bhansali. So she donated the land in February 1965 and the Parashurama temple was built in that space overlooking the western steps of the Banganga tank. And then, we spent quite some time at the Parashurama temple and then we walked towards the Jagannath Mahadev temple. The Jagannath Mahadev temple was founded around 1858 by a Bombay merchant, Lakshmi Das Jagjeevan Das. Now, the temple is quite unusual and it kind of mixes elements of the past and present. So it uses asbestos shade over the Sabha Mandap, but at the same time, it has intricately carved wooden brackets. And then suddenly there is the use of tiles in the Garbhagriha. And so then you have, in contrast, you have the inner sanctum, which houses a stone lingam, which is mounted in a Nagara style shikhara. So, but all in all, the temple is interesting, but it is in need of some restoration. So then we move to the stone paved Jabar Gali, which is one of the two alleys leading to the Banganga tank from the Valkeshwar road running along the ridge of Malabar Hill. The most prominent temple here is the Jabareshwar Temple, and that was built in the 1840s by Nathuram Ramdas, father of a leading Bombay merchant, Sri Mangaldas Nathubhai. Now the temple houses a Shivlingam along with Parvati. Nandi and Hanuman are also worshipped in the Sabha Mandap. So then, stepping out on the lanes yet again, we encountered large deepasthams or pillars used for lighting lamps. These deepasthams at the southern end of Banganga are also unique in design, having influences from the Goan temples. It is believed that these deepasthams are meant to be markers, and they were built over the samadhis or burial places of revered saints. These are smaller, then there are the smaller shrines around the place too. And then we finally arrive at the Valkeshwar temple, after which the area is named. It is believed that Lord Rama was asked to worship Shiva before he continued his journey towards Lanka by some of the sages and learned people around the place. So, and he was, Lakshmana was asked to get a potent lingam from Varanasi. So, as he waited for Lakshmana to get back, Rama began to lose patience and created a lingam made from sand to start his prayer. Hence, the place got its name from Valuka, which means sand, and Ishwar, which is, of course, the name of Lord Shiva, which results in the name Valkeshwar. So, the current lingam worshipped in the Garbhagriha of the Valkeshwar temple is said to be a Swayambhu or self-manifested lingam, and the lingam has a brass kavacha or armor and is protected within the coil of a brass naga. It is believed that this lingam was brought from Varanasi by Lakshmana. Hence, Valkeshwar is also referred to as Lakshmaneshwar. Now, historians say that the original temple of Valkeshwar was built by the Shilaharas of the North Konkan area around the time of 810 to 1240 AD. And that was eventually destroyed either by medieval Muslim rulers or by the Portuguese. And after the cession of the island to them by Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. So you do find inscriptions in Sanskrit. There are about 8 verses, of Sanskrit slokas which describe the story of the temple within this temple. So then the next stop, we arrived at the Rameshwar temple. Now, Rameshwar temple was built by a gentleman called Raghoba Jivaji Jaikar in 1842. He was a member of the Pathare Prabhu community, and the temple is believed to have been built on the site of an older Koli temple, and it combines a Nagara style pyramidal shikhara and a Konkan style sabagriha. Now, in front of the Rameshwar temple, overlooking the Banganga tank ghats, is a domed Ganapati temple, also built by Raghobi Jivaji Jaikar in 1842. We then moved to the Lakshmi Narayana temple. The Lakshmi Narayana temple was built in the 1890s by Mathurdas Damodar Das Jhaveri in memory of his late wife Kesar Bhai. The Jhaveris, as you may know, are jewelers by profession and are known to have migrated to Mumbai from Gujarat. Thus, you see elements of Gujarati architecture also, such as a sitting platform, the otla, and the use of decorative toran over the doors. And the resident of the temple was so kind enough to have given us the prasad, as and he kept it open a little longer. Otherwise, it was just going to be shut, as it was getting to be closing time. So, one last look at the Banganga temple, and you can spot heavily eroded panels that are placed on the steps leading down to the Banganga tank, and these stone panels are believed to have been part of the old Valkeshwar temple, which was built by the Shilahara rulers. So after the temple that was demolished by the Portuguese or the Muslim rulers, many of these broken pieces were salvaged, and they are just now placed scattered around the tank. I think it's a pity. I think kind of a separate place, or so it has to be created for them so that it can be preserved for posterity. So it is believed that the British took some of the better preserved carvings to England, and are now that is displayed at the India House Museum at South Kensington. Now, the north end of the Banganga tank has a collection of stone relics They commonly depict a horse and a rider, and its features are hidden under thick layers, of vermilion, which worshippers have gone on pasting on it. So they look orange. So what the stones represent or where they were sourced from remains unknown, though it is likely that they are memorials erected for warriors who died in the battle. So in the middle of Banganga tank, of course, stands a Dwajastambha or a flagpole, which symbolizes Mount Meru, which is said to be the center of the physical, the metaphysical, and the spiritual universe, as per many of the researchers. And the water, of the tank represents the cosmic ocean. And the tank is also used for immersion of ash, from the nearby crematorium. So the latest addition in the Valkeshwar complex is a playground for children that has been set up very, very recently by the RPG Foundation. So Swaroop and I by now would have spent a good hour and probably more walking through the complex, and it is strange to see that modern flats, high rises, all that surround this very ancient spot, and it's a contrast in many kinds, and though I have tried to be as comprehensive in this video as possible, um, do excuse me if I missed any details, and let me know if you found the video informative. And look forward to your comments. And until the next video, this is Sangeeta Venkatesh signing off. Namaste.